Hey fellow YouTubers, it's me, Kana. It is, gosh, I need to change my calendar. It is Monday, October 3rd, 2016. I have been not so busy. I've been working on getting my bathroom kind of reorganized a little bit because I was in there for a shower and yeah, it's a mess. So that's exciting. Yay. Thinking about getting laundry going. Haven't decided whether I will or won't yet, but at least I am clean and I've gotten some stuff done. I know you guys have been following along with my crochets, and so this is what I have completed thus far. I've made 4 of these slouchies. I have ravens right here. I have hunters here, aces here, and Reese's there. I think that's pretty accurate at this point. I apologize for the loose ends. I have not yet found my darning needle, so it is still a work in progress, but I've done 4 in about 4 days. 5 days, maybe. Not bad. Would go a little faster if I didn't take so many breaks, but what you gonna do? So now I am embarking on my most difficult project yet. This is a kerchief, and it is a pattern that came with the Karen cakes. This is what the finished product should look like, except without the tassels, because my girls don't want the tassels on them. But that's what it should look like whenever I'm done. And it is kind of difficult to follow along with. So if you are a crocheter at home and you're interested in undertaking this particular project, I highly recommend the Crochet Crowds tutorial on it. You can find it in my list of crochet ideas. I save everything that I'm thinking about doing in there or am interested in doing, so so I can find it later. That's where I got the slouchy pattern, and in the description for those videos you will find a link that will take you to the pattern for the project. So you're never left just kind of trying to figure it out on your own. You can always find the pattern. If you can read a pattern, that's great. If you can't, if you have a problem with abbreviations, they actually have a website you can go to, www.yarnspirations.com, where you can look up those abbreviations, and there are various tutorials all over YouTube to help you learn how to crochet or knit or needlework, whatever you're interested in. I like to do a little bit of everything, so I taught myself how to do cross stitch and embroidery, and I do that pretty well, so I'm not too worried about that. But I taught myself how to crochet and how to knit from those tutorials. I taught myself, I'm teaching myself how to sew using those tutorials. And sometimes, like with things that I am not very accustomed to making, like this, because it increases on one side only, and then decreases on that same side to make the kerchief shape, having those video tutorials is very helpful, and it's always good to try new projects. You can always frog it, which, as I've before mentioned, I believe is shorthand for furiously ripping out. Because it is that, yes. I have frogged this particular piece about 5 times since I started this morning. I haven't frogged it back in a little while, but I'll probably end up frogging it back before long because it looks kind of funky to me. But that's okay. Stuff happens. I'm good with that. So, anyway, I don't really have much to do today. I have to take up a 6-pack of soda to my son's class because on Thursday is his back to school thing. Back to school night tailgate party. So, and that's from 6 to 7. And he's got to have a 6 or 12 pack of soda. So I think we got him a 12 pack that I have to take up there. And I figured it'd probably be easier for me to do it than to send it with him this morning. Just because my son. It might not make it if I sent it with my son. And a 12 pack's kind of heavy. So, at least for him. Also on Thursday night, my daughter has her cluster concert. And that'll be up at Caprock. It's at the same time as his back-to-school thing. So, his dad's going to take him to the back-to-school thing. And I'm going to go with Asa to her concert. I try very hard not to miss those. I've missed one or two. One time we planned to get married. Whenever we got married, it was April 25th. The next day, the 26th, was her concert for the Amarillo Youth Symphony. And luckily we're not doing that again this year, but I had planned for us to fly out that day, and I didn't know what day her concert was going to be on, and I felt horrible because we were on an airplane heading to Disney World, or just arriving in Disney World, or Orlando at that time. So I felt pretty low. And then I've had to miss once because of my fibro. But no matter how perfect we as parents try to be, sometimes life gets in the way. And I try very hard to be there, to be supportive, to show my kids how proud I am of them, to tell them all the time. Because that's something that I think I lacked growing up. I mean, my mother did it, but I lived with my grandparents, and I very desperately tried to get their approval and their attention. And quite often I feel like I fell flat on that. And to this day, I think I'm a huge disappointment to them. I don't really care anymore, aside from the fact that they're my grandparents, and I'd like to show them how awesome I am. But it's kind of moot at this point. I don't think they're ever going to accept me the way I am, and so I just keep being the way I am. I don't intend to change for anyone, and if you don't like that, then maybe you should move along. I'm fortunate, though, because Michael is awesome the way he is. We're both happy with each other, and that's the best thing right there, is that. My hand's starting to shake. I think tomorrow, no, there's no scouts tomorrow. I keep having to remind myself of that. No scouts tomorrow. I might actually get some stuff done this week after school. Seems like the only night that I really have anything big planned is Thursday. And it's insane, too, because it seems like when Reese has scouts, everything falls on Thursday, or on Tuesday, which is the night he has scouts. And he doesn't have scouts this week. Tuesday would be perfect, but everything falls on Thursday. So it seems like I just can't win. And sometimes I get kind of frustrated because I have 5 kids in 3 different schools. So, and they're all in the same cluster. So you think they would kind of try to get together and say, oh, well, you're having your cluster concert this night, and there might be students' parents who want to be at that, and it's at the same time, so let's kick this back. So, I don't know. Unless Asa has the time on her concert wrong, which I'm hoping she does. I'm hoping it's at 7 instead of at 6, because that will give me an opportunity to go up to the school and see Reese's classroom, see what he's been working on. I take very big interest in my kids. I communicate with their teachers. I'm shaking again. I communicate with their teachers. I talk to them quite frequently. And I am very much present in their school lives. Not just their normal everyday lives, but in school as well. School is a two-way street. The teachers handle so much, and the parents have to handle so much. And if you send your kids to school expecting them to be brilliant, without giving them any kind of guidance or a pat on the back or whatever, you will be sorely disappointed. My kids are both brilliant. I know that they're brilliant, and I never let them forget it. It's real easy, I think, sometimes, especially as a child, to pigeonhole yourself. You know, oh, well, I'm smart, so I'm a nerd. Well, so what? You're smart. Big deal. Doesn't make you a nerd. Just makes you smart. And, but it's a two-way street. It has to be parents and teachers working in tandem in order for it to be efficient, to work. And I never hold my kids' teachers responsible for their mistakes. Hunter came home last week with a note from one of his teachers saying that he was missing several assignments, and it's his responsibility to get those turned in. And he swears up and down he turned them in. And I said, well, if you turned them in, then you need to find them and show them to the teacher with the grade on them so that they can input that grade into the system, because obviously that was a failure. And, yeah, so I don't think he actually did the assignments. I think that he just kind of blew them off and didn't think anybody would notice. But I noticed. And he is being held responsible for that. That is his responsibility. So, yeah. I try very hard to be like, tough mom. You can't go outside till you get your homework done. You can't do this. You can't do that. Have you got your homework done? You can't go to the park if you haven't. But sometimes it's easier said than done. If you don't have kids, I don't expect you to understand. But like my 7-year-old, who's about to be 8, oh my God, they're growing up so fast. He is the baby, and so he's used to being spoiled and coddled and getting his way, and that just doesn't fly anymore. And there are times that I have to be kind of fierce with him. You know, dude, you are not the only person in this family who needs to do stuff. You don't get the right to dictate what we do all the time. And I think that was more than obvious on our vacation, because it was a family vacation, and he wanted to do what he wanted to do and not what anyone else wanted to do. So, there were quite a few times when we were running from place to play Sorcerers in the Magic Kingdom, and he'd want to keep going and keep going and keep going, and we would have to say, look, dude, we want to go ride rides. Asa wants to go over here and do this. It's not just your vacation, it's everyone else's vacation too. So I think that was a little bit difficult sometimes, but he will get more used to it, unfortunately. He's at that age where he doesn't really understand that he can't always have his way, but he's learning, and that's all I can ask, is that he learn. So, that's kind of where I'm at on that. I think I'm probably about done with this thing. So I'm going to wrap it up. Unfortunately, yesterday, whenever I recorded my quick vlog in my jammies with my hair, like, Medusified, I failed to mention that if you would like to check me out on social media, you can find those links, as well as a link to our Patreon account, down in the description for this video. So if you would like to contact me on Twitter, Instagram, Periscope, or Snapchat, please feel free. I am, and if you would be interested in possibly donating $1 or $2 a month to help us achieve our goal of taking everyone more places here in the Panhandle area, please go to our Patreon. It's www.patreon.com/SparksFamily Adventures, which is all one word. And again, I have all of that information down below in the description for this video. As always, please like, subscribe, share, leave me a comment down below. I love to hear from you guys. Do y'all want to see more crochet? Do y'all want to, I don't know, get out of the house and go for walks with me? What would y'all be interested in? The weather's getting a little bit better. I can get out a little bit more. It's quite nice. So if that would be something that you're interested in, leave me a comment. Let me know. I love to talk to you guys. I will always respond. So, again, I hope you have a wonderful Monday, and I certainly hope today has not been a Monday for you. Have a great day. Much love, YouTubers. Really. Y'all make my world go round. I'll see y'all tomorrow. On to the next.